On trends today, FCT Minister takes a swipe at Peter Obi. Senate confirms Amupiton as chairman. Parliament confirms presidential pardon still under review. Fubara cancels 134 billion naira project awarded by his predecessor. And Nnamdi Kanu confirmed fit to stand trial. Hello and welcome to today's episodes of Trend with LJE, where we analyze major stories shaping leadership, justice and economic growth across Nigeria and Africa. My name is Omoyeni Ojeifo. Now don't forget you can also be a part of the conversation by following us on all our social media plume I shall be introducing after the break. Stay tuned.
Camera rolling. Light set. Sound check. And action.
Hello everyone, welcome to today's program, a program where we get to talk
custody.
about the
Program
daily
where
affairs
lawyers
around
dissect
the
legal
world.
issues with intent to educate.
This is the perfect space to create professional quality videos, recording news, podcasts, and all media content. With top-of-the-line cameras, studio lighting, soundproof spaces, we provide everything you need for a seamless shoot. Our fully equipped studio ensures high-quality production every time. Enjoy a comfortable, air-conditioned environment with professional-grade gear and expert support. Contact us now or visit our Abuja location to reserve your spot.
Welcome back from the break. This is still Trends with LG, and we have in the studio Dr. John Nkamiang, a communications expert. You're welcome to the studio.
It's a pleasure as always.
Thank you very much. Now let's get right to our first story. The FCT Minister Barrister Nyesom Wike has once again come for former Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi, this time calling him a social media president. Let's take a look at the video.
In Anambra State. If you have finished all the jobs in 8 years, nobody will be talking about developing Anambra by now. 8 years. Anambra, you took the money and put in the bank you have interest, Fidelity Bank. And why did you have problems with your successor? Anambra State had problems. The money was there to develop Anambra State. You only prefer put the money for the development of Anambra State in the bank you have the largest share. So a profit will be coming and Anambra will be suffering. Mr. Peter Obi, we have not even stayed 4 years.
In the case of FCT Minister, he doesn't determine what is priority. He is just, let's not forget, the president is the governor of the FCT. So everything he does, he must get approval. He must follow the lines of responsibility. So for him to always come on the air and make it look as if he has this ultimate power to decide to do and undo is not correct. It's not correct. Yes, as the minister, he holds brief for the president, who is the governor, because the president is the governor of the FCT and the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So naturally, the table is full. So, but he does not have the sole power to do. Every project he has completed so far are projects that have been ongoing. The FCT remains a construction site for another 30 years. So even when Wike leaves, the next FCT minister will continue from where he stops. Okay, River State, yes, we give it to him. He built bridges everywhere. For those of us who know Port Harcourt and Rivers, I give it to him. Yes, he constructed roads into the interland, most parts of River State. It opened up development for the state, no doubt. Of course, he has the resources. Those were priority projects at the time. At the time. So I would appreciate that for a legal luminary, a supposedly learned person of his caliber should not degrade himself in the name of politics to be able to just open his mouth and talk because he feels he can talk. And then I think it's high time I put it out there. Nigerians should stop insulting, and Nigerian politicians should stop insulting the intelligence of the average Nigerian. Just because they know that they have failed us woefully over the years in education, in empowerment, in industrialization that they keep talking about and never invest anything. And it goes to prove the general saying across the world, politics doesn't produce nothing. And so they should understand that we're not stupid. That because they plan to they've rigged the elections over the years, and because they've learned to control the paraphernalias of office and government and governance, and so they get away with it, does not mean that the average Nigerian does not know what to expect in terms of the dividends of democracy. So the FCT minister should stick to the assignment he has been given to by making the FCT is nothing close to London. The FCT is nothing close to Pretoria or Johannesburg. The FCT is nothing close to the capital of Morocco. I am not going outside the continent of Africa. The FCT is nothing close to the capital of Rwanda. These are cities that I have visited.
We will get there.
No. If he wants to continue to be braggadocious, I want to see an FCT as we speak right now. There is no. He got the president to commission bus terminals that are not. Nothing has happened. Nothing. We were told CNG buses are made available. I can't remember the last time I saw a public CNG bus. London is far older than the FCT, but they have continued to evolve. You can't get into London and get stranded.
We are a work in progress. Like I said, we will get there. Let's move on to the next story. The Senate has confirmed Professor Josh Ojo Amupiton, FAN, as the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission. His confirmation followed the screening exercise at the Harlow Chambers on Thursday, where he was grilled for 3 hours. Following his confirmation by the Senate, Amupiton will oversee preparations for the upcoming off-cycle governorship elections and lay the groundwork for the 2027 general elections. Let's take a look at the video.
I did not appear in the presidential election tribunal and at the Supreme Court.
So you never represented Peter Obi or PDP?
I was not part of it.
Okay.
So, Dr. John, what are your expectations from the new chairman? I mean, he made a whole lot of promises yesterday where he was being interviewed. So what do you expect from him?
First of all, the suggestion that he wasn't part of the last election is not an excuse. Honestly, if I was a senator on the floor of the Senate yesterday, I would have told him, I'm sorry, Mr. or Professor Amupiton. That statement is not acceptable. The general elections were taken in 2023. As of the time your name began to make the rounds, that you were going to be nominated as an INEC chairman, I expected, as a member of the academia, one of the strong pillars of the academia is research. You would have quickly tried to grab every information that has to do with the 2023 elections, whether in terms of how it was executed, whether in terms of the legal litigations that are still pending in court. You would have reached out to the institution to say, please, I would like to be furnished with information. In this time and era, there's no excuse. Ignorance is not an excuse. Now, in terms of the statements he made as to the promises with regards to the changes he intends to make or the improvements he intends to make.
Yes.
I am happy that he is tilting towards technology by suggesting that drones will be used to secure the ballots. Yeah.
I think that is achievable.
It's achievable. I mean, all we need to, as I said, all he needs to do, you will recall that as of the same time we were doing our general elections in 2023, South Africa was doing, I still have the videos and the pictures on my device, comparing our National Collation Center with that of South Africa. They had massive sets showing real-time collation.
Yeah.
Real time.
Yes.
While ours, we just had long table and, nobody could see what was going on. IREF didn't work. The transmission of results didn't work. You understand? So for him to suggest that he's going to use drones, it gives me the impression that he intends to lean heavily on technology. And I am also happy that the Electoral Act, as amended, makes provision for those modifications to be moved. And that is one of the things we will celebrate the former INEC chairman for, Mahmoud Yakubu, because under his watch, we saw a high level of dependence on technology, even though it was not effectively utilized, but it had in some ways revolutionized our electoral process.
Okay. And to our next story, the federal government has clarified that no inmate has been released yet under the recent presidential prerogative of mercy exercise, despite reports suggesting otherwise. According to the clarification, the process is still undergoing final administrative review and no physical release of inmates has taken place yet. Dr. John, do you think this information is coming because the presidency has been under scrutiny for releasing Miriam Sanda?
We must understand the fact that we have a process or a system that is reactionary, not proactive. Because we had this conversation on a previous edition of Trends, where I said, before the president announced that list, that he would have consulted with a panel made up of legal luminaries, academia, religious leaders, traditional rulers, so that all the bases would have been covered. All he needed to do was, ladies and gentlemen, these are the people I want to grant amnesty or clemency, as the case may be, and I need you to scrutinize this list before we make it public, based on giving me grounds why these people should not be granted clemency. And you can also suggest others to replace the people that we will drop. So by the time the president comes out, he is well informed, he is well grounded, he gives Nigerians an authentic list. This is medicine after death, and it is typical Nigerian fashion. We put the cart before the horse, fire brigade approach. If Nigerians did not react, that list will just come and go. But because there have been several reactions, there's still criticism of that list. That is why the presidency has decided, let it not look as if we're not yielding to the reactions of people. So it's medicine after death. All of this. And again, it continues to show how unprepared, what's the word now? How we're so way back. When it comes to understanding the processes of government, governance, and the rule of law. Because as long as we continue to act in this manner, how do we expect the rest of the world to give us our pride of place?
That's a very big question. Governor Siminalayi Fubara-led Rivers State Executive Council has terminated a 134 billion naira contract for the reconstruction of the State Secretariat complex in Port Harcourt. The contract, which was awarded during the period of emergency rule under Vice Admiral Ibokete, was among the projects reviewed at the council's meeting on Thursday. The council has directed the company to also refund the sum of 20 billion naira for mobilization fee. Dr. John, what's your take on this quickly?
It's not surprising. We will see more of contracts revoked by Governor Fubara's administration. Let's not forget, these contracts were awarded during a non-constitutionally recognized sole administrator. Even though Mr. President was not very clear as to the terms he gave to the sole administrator, but I mean, legally, I do not think the sole administrator had the right to award any contracts. If at all, he had to monitor projects that were already in progress. What he is supposed to do is monitor those projects, and at the end of his tenure as sole administrator, give his findings and reports based on what he met on ground and what progress was made while he was in office, and that's it. But for you to begin to award contracts when you are not a constitutionally recognized authority in Rivers State, it calls to question.
Okay, so to our final story, the Federal High Court in Abuja has adopted a medical report by a panel set up by the Nigerian Medical Association, which confirmed the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, is not suffering from any life-threatening ailment. The NMA, under order of Justice James Omotosho, was tasked with determining Kanu's actual health condition, following claims from medical experts representing both the prosecution and the defense. Dr. John, quickly.
First of all,
do you think
I want to know what kind of medical examinations did the NMA carry
out?
Did they also carry out a psych evaluation? I'm beginning to suspect. I'm not a medical professional. I may be wrong, but I'm beginning to suspect because I had to take time to look at all a great part of Nnamdi Kanu's statements before, during, and in recent times. And from my little understanding of psychology, I begin to suspect that Nnamdi Kanu may have psychological ailments, not necessarily physical or organic ailments, as the case may be, because I'm seeing signs of bipolar. But again, I am not a medical expert.
Of course,
but I suggest, so I think the NMA should have made clear, look, okay, we carried out a psych evaluation. This is the result. We carried a full comprehensive test. We did MIR. We did this. We did that. So based on this, we can certify that he is fit.
But I don't think that information will be made.
No, I mean, they don't have to go into details. Even the court, it behooves the court, because this is a high-profile case. A region is involved in this. In that video, we saw Honorable Agwocha, who has been at the forefront of the release of Nnamdi Kanu. Just a few days ago, he had altercations with the speaker on the floor of the House, based on conversations around Nnamdi Kanu's release. So this is not just any case. So as a trial judge, I would expect that you will, to some extent, calm this tension by allowing the public have some little insight. I'm not talking about details of the medical report, but it will be clearly stated a psych evaluation, a full comprehensive medical evaluation, MRIs, blah, 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 was taken. And the final conclusion by medical professionals and experts is that Nnamdi Kanu is fit. All we just heard is that NMA has released their medical report and Nnamdi Kanu is fit. In a trial where you know that there is a lot of suspicion, I won't be surprised that different groups in the Southeast who have interest in this case begin to say, no, we are not, something was amiss. So you don't leave anything to chance. You don't leave anything to chance.
Analysis on the next episode of Trends. And that's why we wrap it up on this episode of Trends with LJE. Thank you to Dr. John for being a part of the program. And to you, our viewers, thank you. Do well to follow us across all social media platforms on @LJE Nigeria. My name is Omoyeni Ojefu. See you on the next episode.